Anyway, so let's get started with my top 10. So, number 10, Stardew Valley. Yes, so again, as you guys noticed in my last Hot Matches segment, Stardew Valley is probably the best Harvest Moon game I've played since A Wonderful Life on GameCube. It lost some of the charm I found, but the entire farming system and the combat and how everything is and how you collect and how you kind of build up the town and everything, I think far exceeded anything that Harvest Moon games have even tried recently. With how stagnant the Harvest Moon games are, it was a breath of fresh air to play Stardew Valley, so I really appreciated that. And it was a fantastic game. I played nonstop for weeks. Number 9 is ARMS. So when they first announced this game in the January presentation, it instantly got me hooked. I love that it had these crazy character designs. This extendable arms thing was so unique, never seen it before. And whenever Nintendo really focuses on a unique aspect to a game that you've never seen before, it usually turns out pretty damn well. And again, I completely agree with how they did that here with ARMS. I've never been the biggest fighting game fan. So initially I was thinking, hey, this might not be my cup of tea, but it seems good enough. And there were some complaints I would have with the game, mainly being that they could have really pushed more with the whole lore of the world and the characters, because the characters had so much style and were designed so beautifully. But then they just have these very half-assed like text conversations in the story mode kind of a thing, and really wasn't anything to it there. But as far as a party game, it's fantastic, and as well as a competitive online game, I absolutely loved it. I loved the whole aspect of the extendable arms. Again, defending, move, dodge, hit. It's so satisfying when you dodge at the last minute and you hit a special and you kind of get the guys again. It's the game is a blast. I've kind of fallen off on that, but I think it's more of the fault of Nintendo releasing so many damn games this year and so many good indies and some third-party stuff. I will be jumping back in it. I have that in my Switch case all the time just in case I want to go back in for a few matches. But that's my number 9. Number 8 is Doom. So this is my first time playing Doom. As soon as I saw that this was coming out, I was like, oh man, perfect on a handheld too. This is like perfect for me. This is perfect like for the lifestyle and the whole arcade type of shooting. I was like, okay, this is perfect. I'm jumping in. And the campaign is fucking amazing. That's honestly one of the best first-person shooter campaigns I've played. It was a blast, it was so good. And so Doom was really good for that. The visuals were pretty interesting, but I think they worked actually really well. With like the manic kind of crazy Twitch shooter kind of reaction time thing, the 30 frames per second seemed to work fine to me. Like it seemed faster than 30 frames per second because there was like no hiccups like whatsoever, It moved briskly as much as you would want. And the kind of the motion blur they added to everything and like the soft around the edges really, it was kind of cool. It really made me think like you're looking through like this crazy guy's like, helmet and kind of a thing. You're really looking at these like crazy creatures kind of moving all around you and you're moving quickly. I feel like it just worked really well. And I think, Panic Button? I think they did a fantastic job in porting the game. And I'm really excited to see Wolfenstein 2 next year. So that's my number 8. My number 7 is Metroid Samus Returns on 3DS. So, yes, this is the only 3DS game I'm putting in here. There were quite a few good 3DS games out this year, actually. Quite a few that I would play, but I do find it hard kind of going back to 3DS now when the Switch is out. But, Metroid Samus Returns. So, I played Metroid 2 on the original, on my 3DS Virtual Console, and it was a little tough. I couldn't really get into it. I played for maybe a half hour, then I was like, nah, I can't play this. I looked up the story, then I was done. But Metroid Samus Returns, though, that's announced. Again, that was just announced this year, people. Like E3, and it was already out, and it was fantastic. This was a damn good game. Mercury Steam did a really good job. I feel like they got unfairly reviewed based on their Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate game on 3DS. I really enjoyed that game, so I was already on board for this. And yeah, no, they did a fantastic job. The whole, again, you know what, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yeah, it was a really good Metroid game. And I don't want to be the asshole, but I played Super Metroid after playing Metroid Samus Returns for the first time. I played Super Metroid on 3DS Virtual Console. And maybe it's because I played it after, but I think Metroid Samus Returns might be the better game. Don't burn me at the stake for that, but that's take that for what you will. My number 6 is an even better game, in my opinion, than the Metroidvania Metroid Samus Returns. It is SteamWorld Dig 2 on the eShop. Absolutely love this game. Image and form, fantastic. The original SteamWorld Dig I really liked on 3DS. SteamWorld Heist I liked even better. It was more of a turn-based style kind of strategy game. But SteamWorld Dig 2 brought it back to its platformer, not roots, but it's back to the platformer genre that they used with SteamWorld Dig 1. And yeah, it was phenomenal. I'm not going to jump in too much, but it looks beautiful. It runs really well. And the whole upgrade system was flowing so well with how you're progressing through the story. And there's always something to look forward to within the next couple minutes. There's always something new, always some new gameplay element you haven't seen before. And it was really good. And the whole digging mechanic is as great as ever. Number 5 is Splatoon 2. So again, I talked about this in the last segment, Hot Matches, but Splatoon 2, really enjoyed this game. The story wasn't as good as the first one, but I feel like they improved on the multiplayer tenfold, I think. The maps are a lot better, in my opinion. They are bringing back some of my favorites from the original, and they keep flowing content. For 2 years, they're bringing out new content, and they're releasing this new mode soon. This is such a good community, and this game that you kind of can rally around every time they have a Splatfest come out. I pick up the Joy-Cons again or whatever, and I play Splatoon again. It's such a good... Think about the amount of money's worth I'm getting for just this one game. You know what I mean? It's really damn good. Number 4 is Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So, yeah, this is okay. I wish it was higher, because when I played this game, I was like, man, this is going to be either number 1 or 2 on my Game of the Year list. This is fantastic. How did this happen? No one expected this game to be nearly as good as it is. This is a fantastic strategy game. I mean, so good, people. The flow of how you run, then you jump on an enemy, then you jump on another, you slide dash through a couple guys, and you jump off an enemy's head, jump onto your friend's head or something, then they throw you further down the map, and then you shoot a guy, he careens back and hits another guy, and they both fall into a pit and die. It's one move that you can plan out, and it is so damn satisfying when you do it. And you can do that constantly. There's constantly something you can do, move through. You go through a pipe and it extends your reach. You can, the maps aren't these huge maps. That's what I never liked about XCOM, is how big the maps were, and half the time you're you're taking 3 moves just to move up to where an enemy is. Whereas this one, you're planted down into this map, and you can you're in battle automatically right away. You can even travel in one move all the way to the other end of the map. So it's this fully intricate puzzle that you're playing every map that you have. It's so well designed. I still can't get over that Ubisoft made this, and seriously, one of the best strategy games I've ever played. Buy it now. And I can't believe it's only number 4 on this list. Seriously, this game is fucking phenomenal. And they just released a versus mode for free. This game, so good. Number 3 is, okay, this is a little controversial for me, but number 3 is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This list will probably change at some point, but I have not completed Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet. I don't even think I'm close to completing it. I will be playing forever after this, but I just couldn't put it above the other two that I have up there. So I left it at number 3. I am absolutely adoring this game. I don't know if I like it better than the first one yet. I don't know if I like it better than X yet. I want to leave that for after until I finally beat the game. But yeah, no, this game is phenomenal, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Again, I don't want to spoil anybody, but right now for number 3, I have to give it to that because I haven't completed it yet, but I did want to put it on the list because so many people are going to skip it because it's released so late in the year. My number 2 is Super Mario Odyssey. I was trying to do like a mix of Zelda Breath of the Wild there, but yeah, so Super Mario Odyssey is my number 2, which obviously means you guys know what my number 1 is. Again, I've never been the biggest Mario fan, but this is the one Mario where I've actually 100% completed, as in I got all 999 moons. I did Darker Side of the Moon. I did everything. I've never 100%ed any of the galaxies, 3D World, 3D Land, anything like that. I've never 100%ed any of these games, and this is the first one that made me do it, and it made me play constantly for like a week, and that's I think it was like exactly a week when I 100%ed the game, meaning I played it fucking constantly. I think my total time was around like 55 hours. And yeah, that was like, and that's not padded out kind of hours, like this game is so chock full of fucking content that, every second you're doing something. Either you're finding a new moon, or you're discovering something new, you're looking at a beautiful new view, it's constant. And there are some gripes I have with it that I have had with a lot of Mario games. I guess I will bring them up here, but yeah, like the one is, yes, actually the difficulty. Yes, there were some tough moons. There were some, but nothing too crazy. And for a game that has such a fantastic mechanic, which really made this game one of my favorites of the year, mainly because of the capping mechanics and how free and crazy your movements are, and how much skill it takes to master them, how you can, throw your hat, jump off it, dive, throw your hat again, spin, dive, and like reach so much further. I wish they had like some master trials kind of thing, or like a master mode kind of a thing, or maybe it'll be in a DLC later. I hope so. But like with the extent of your movements and how you can do stuff, I want to see some crazy difficult like platforming levels, that's what I want to see for this game. But yeah, other than that though, like, it tugs at nostalgia, it tugs at your heartstrings, and lovely levels, really enjoyed it. And yeah, number 2 is Super Mario Odyssey. Number 1. So this is Zelda Breath of the fucking Wild. Again, if you guys listen to my other segment of Hot Matches, my first one, the entire first, I'd say like 20 hours of this game was the best I've probably ever experienced in any game whatsoever. Just the feeling that I had of, going into this world, this unfamiliar yet somewhat familiar world, like this, you've known Hyrule, but everything around it, all these elements are so new. The physics, the, survival aspect, everything, and how well it flowed from on the Great Plateau, learning some of the mechanics, and all of a sudden you're just fucking let free. Do what you want to do. I felt so small, yet so like empowered in myself kind of a thing, like within Link, like, hey, I'm going to just go fucking kill all these guys, get all these weapons, and go out here, and then all of a sudden a big ass stone boulder monster thing destroys you with his like throwing rocks and shit. I mean, again, like the first 20 hours is one of the best I've ever experienced in any game whatsoever. And, like it had some like lower points in the game as well, but like there's so many bits in this game that were just like design masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like just how they kind of put it together, the attention to detail, and how well the whole thing ran. And definitely, again, like I can't reiterate that enough, the attention to detail with everything in gameplay, in animation, how everything moves, how everything reacts. You've never seen or played a game like this before. And I think what really kind of defines what this game is, that really kind of stuck with me after playing it, and seeing Aonuma's one review with Miyamoto, I believe it was, that he called this the first open air game. And 100% this is, like there are the Skyrims, there are the Xenoblades, there are the Witchers, there's all these other kind of games that throw in some sort of physics in there, but it's nothing like this. This whole world is entirely a sandbox, open air, as he says. You can do anything that makes sense. Like if you can burn something, you can burn it. If that, it has its set mechanics that you can use, and it develops off of that. And yeah, no, just this whole experience of playing through that game was so amazing. I've played through it twice now. I played it on Wii U, and I've rebought it again for Switch and played it through again on Master Mode. That's twice I've played, I've put in probably 250 hours into this goddamn game. You know what I mean? Like, in 1 year, played through it twice, and I enjoyed it both times, like, equally almost. Lost a little bit of the magical, experience I had at the start, but yeah, no, guys, this game 100% deserves Game of the Year. It's really going to be something everyone's going to look back on for years to come.